Hi everyone, I'm going to show you today how to remove the rocker cover on BMW E30. This is the 325i from '86 and it's the M20 B25 engine. But it will be the same or very similar on all B20s. So the cover is just here. It's easy to take off, so it's easy to replace the gasket if you need to, because with time it is going to leak all around. It will also give you access to the valves if you want to do a valve adjustment, and of course if you need to go deeper in the engine you will need to take this off. So basically you need a 10mm socket, a small extender maybe, I'm using this, to take off 8 screws on the top of the cover, 4 on this sort of mounting point with the intake. It sort of links the intake and the cover. You'll need a flathead screwdriver to take this collar off. I already undid it, so you can just put that back. You'll have to take off that breather hose, and that's all there is to it. Or you'll need just a little, how do you call it? Little thing to give it an angle here, because you can't get underneath. But apart from that, nothing complicated. I advise you to first undo each nut, just to make sure that they come off as you want them to come off. And if there is one that really is tough, you can focus on that one first. It's always a good thing to do. So they're all coming off easily. And then there's just this one left with this thing. Okay, so they all came out easily. Now I can just take them off. These two, this one and this one, have a small piece attached to them, well, underneath them. So they're little nuts like that with a mobile part like that. There is a few cables on a brace which are on these screws, so make sure you put them back on at the end. This one came out with the thread, the screw, so I guess it can happen. Just leave it as is and you'll put it back like that. Don't panic if you've got one coming out like that. So these two also hold the coil sort of rack. So this, you can take it back and just keep it aside while you work on the engine. No need to unplug each coil unless you got to do something on the spark plugs. Screws with a washer. And 2 other screws, smaller this time, half smaller. So make sure you don't mix them up when you put everything back together. Bring this hose back. Like so. You might want to replace this one or try and clean it up, but usually there is a lot of crap in there. I'm just gonna have a look. I've never done this on this car, so yeah, you can already see there's quite some disgusting oil. So yeah, might be a good thing to clean all that up, or change it if it's really old and maybe getting cracked and torn. Actually, when you look in there, you can see it's been a lifelong smoker with the arteries completely blocked. Or maybe not blocked, but in a very bad state. Yeah, I'm gonna have to clean that up. Holy crap. Not nice. And now we have nothing else getting in our way, so we can just pull this up. Now the hose can get a little bit in the way. And here we go. Oh, also, before you take this off, it's a good idea to blow away anything that could be on here, so that it doesn't fall in the engine. But here you have your cover. I did an oil change not long ago, and then the new oil started cleaning up the top of the engine, but still, it could do with a good cleanup. As you can see, some parts are clean and some parts have a small layer of old oil. If you're gonna leave it like that for a while, put something on it to protect it. Make sure nothing gets in, and before you close up, inspect everything to see that nothing is in there. So you have your camshaft, you have the first cylinder here towards the radiator, and then you have the sixth cylinder here towards the cabin. See, there's leaves falling down from the trees. Not the best season to do this outdoors, but I have nowhere else to do this. So now you can work on your valve adjustment, work on your cylinder head if you want to take it off and remove all this, and something that's not really rare on these engines, you can check if you don't have a broken head bolt screw or whatever it's called. So that's not a very good news for me. Apparently it happens fairly often on pre-89 models, and the new screws are Torx screws, and apparently they don't break. So yeah, you can see if you want to change them. There are 14 to change. But my fear is that if I change others, maybe they will break in the engine. So I'm not really keen on doing that. The tough part for me will be getting this out, because it broke just above the thread. And it's really deep down. I'm gonna have to find a way to get this out, and it's probably going to be complicated. I really would not want to have to undo everything. So that's just for my problem. If you want to change the gasket, well, it will be a good thing to change. It doesn't cost much. Usually it's not too stuck, but you can just take it off, replace it. These parts, I think they are sort of like hard rubber parts. You may want to change them as well. I think they can start to leak with time. And of course the camshaft, there's an O-ring and another, I can't remember how it's called in English, but there are a couple that you want to change at the end of camshaft. It's a small job, but if you have a leak out of the camshaft, then you won't know if it's your rocker cover gasket or if it's that camshaft. I'm gonna have to do some stuff before closing it up. So if you're gonna do it, when you're gonna put it back on, you're gonna want to put your new gasket on, and then you're gonna want to tighten this the right torque. Do a cross tightening so that your cover will go nice and flat in its place. So as you saw, it's an easy job. Anyone can do that. Good luck for the valve adjustment. It's not very complicated either. There are a few videos online already for that as well. Hope this will help you out, and wish you good mechanics. Cheers.